All right, so welcome back to the AM show. Time for us to go into what the papers are reporting this morning. I have the Daily Graphic with me, the Daily Guide newspaper, the Finder, the Custodian, and the Ghanaian Publisher. And to help us review what these papers are reporting is Dr. Kwame Asante. He is a political scientist and a director of the Center for European Studies at the University of Ghana. Doc, good morning. Thanks for coming through.
Good morning, my brother. How are you?
I'm well. Let's start off with the Daily Graphic. The banner headline, Premix fuel system automated, move to check hoarding and ensure transparency. Kyerematen withdraws from MPP presidential race. OSP freezes Cecilia Dape's accounts again. And at the back page, SHC inaugurate Adenta Legacy Estate. This infestation of black fly starts at Lankwantanan Municipality. Okay, right. So those are the stories there. Now, let's do the premix fuel story. It's written by Shelley Asiedu Addo and Francisca Eshen from Elmina. Now, the premix fuel management system has been automated to remove challenges, including corrupt practices associated with the sale and distribution of the product. Premix fuel, which fishermen rely on for expeditions at sea and in rivers, will now have a modern technology to control how it is stored and dispensed, with a monitoring system to check hoarding and smuggling. The system is a comprehensive infrastructure of state-of-the-art technology, meticulously designed with dispensing control unit, fuel level sensors, electronic card utilization systems, as well as web and mobile applications that are expected to cause a major shift in the way the subsector is managed. It comes with the registration of all canoes, while special cards will be issued for premix fuel transactions at the automated point. The automated fuel system, equipped with smart card readers, will dispense to only biometric identification card bearing members of the public, especially fishers. The Vice President, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, yesterday commissioned 3 automated premix dispensing and monitoring outlets at Elmina in the Central Region to symbolically mark the opening of the 50 facilities across the country. Doc, we've been talking about how to reduce human involvement in things like this. I guess this is a step in the right direction. But the question will be, how do we ensure that this system does not succumb to human interference?
I think it's a good one. I commend the Vice President and his team for bringing this out. Our fishermen have been struggling over the years, and one of their problems is the issue of fuel. And you and I know the whole story about it, where sometimes they run out of this, even though it is on the market. So I am happy that the government has listened to their cry, and then government is helping in this direction. But as you rightly pointed out, we need such a meaningful program to be sustained on daily basis. So it's my hope and prayer that the government will do the needful to make sure that this beautiful program is sustained to ensure its logical conclusion. It is important that it is not only the issue of mixed fuel that is of a problem to them. Marketing, how do they market their fish? It's a problem. Where people buy at lower prices and all that, they don't get anything. I myself am in the industry, and I know some of the challenges. So I know government is trying to do its best. They need to quicken the pace so as to make sure that this policy of government to ensure that people get fish at their backyard and all that will be a reality.
Marketing of fish is difficult now, huh?
Yeah, if you have a lot of them, who buys? They will come and buy at a very cheap price, and then you don't know where to sell and all that. It is a problem. I know people who have ponds in their homes, and when it's ready, they have nowhere to tend to. and then they go around, people come around and cheat them. And I speak on authority. I know what I'm talking about.
Okay, anyway, let's do let me take you to page 16 and for us to do the Alan Kyerematen story. Now, a flag bearer hopeful, Alan John Kojo Kyerematen, has withdrawn from the November 4 presidential primary of the New Patriotic Party, NPP, citing intimidation and various acts of violence unleashed on his supporters in recent superdelegate conference. This is a reenactment of the 2007 Congress at the University of Ghana, Legon, during which Mr. Kyerematen voluntarily stepped down for his closest contender, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, after neither of them could pass the 50% required mark. This time, Mr. Kyerematen is withdrawing in protest. The recent superdelegate conference is his fourth attempt at the party's leadership. The first was in 2007, followed by 2010, and then 2014 adventures. In withdrawing from the upcoming election, Mr. Kyerematen said the incident and various acts of violence and collusion reported in other voting centers were appalling, unconscionable, and despicable. A statement by the former Trade and Industry Minister said, quote, "After having carefully analyzed the result of the said election, it is absolutely clear to me from events leading to, during and after the elections that the special delegate conference was strategically and tactically skewed in favor of one particular aspirant," unquote. Mr. Kyerematen recounted how his polling agent in Northeast region allegedly suffered severe damage to his eyesight, arising from his bold and courageous effort to ensure compliance with the rules and regulations for the conduct of the elections as approved by the Presidential Elections Committee of the party. Was this something you expected?
I was not expecting this. I was not expecting this because all this while I thought that the man who has started this journey will end on a good note.
Okay.
But you and I have witnessed what has happened. But I am not surprised. Why am I saying this? This whole business of intimidation, harassment, and unequal playing field.
Okay.
We've had this problem long time, people complaining, and the party sat aloof as if nothing was a problem. They never talk about people who had already started campaign whilst the party had not given any green light to anybody. They sat down for all these things to happen, and then to crown it all is the brutalities, intimidation, harassment we saw during the day of election. These things do not augur well for a meaningful party such as the NPP. It is the least to be said about the party. This is a party which has gone through thick and thin, and it's a party that has risen above all manner of problems. So this should not be a problem, and I don't know why. The issue of an establishment candidate is becoming a reality in the party, and it seems to me that those are the top brass within the party do not care a hoot about it. You see, when you build a party around personalities or individuals, you create a problem where people live in pain, and at the end of the day, they want to move out of the party. I am sure the NPP, from where they come from, have experienced all manner of pains, and that they don't want to repeat some of them. 1979 problems that they had is so fresh in the minds of everybody. So I thought that this would be a guiding principle for them. But we are seeing something different, right? If this thing continue, I will not be surprised to see that, yes, whoever emerged victorious will not get anybody to support him in campaign. That is something that we should expect if the status quo remains. It is my hope and prayer that the NPP will not chart this path, because it will lead them to destruction. Nothing more, nothing less.
What, because of one person's decision to withdraw from the party's contest? Is that not an overly extrapolation of the issue?
No. It is not the case that one person has resigned. but or has withdrawn. You saw Bwache Japo also complaining same. Have you thought about, the teeming supporters of these people and how they feel? All these things break the ranks within the party, and it creates all manner of unnecessary problem. I don't think that the party deserves this, and that is not what they bargained for. No, but if they want to allow this thing to exist, I'm afraid they will have their fingers bent.
Okay. So how do you expect the party to approach this development?
We use rules and regulation to govern the conduct of people within the party. Make sure that the rules work. Whoever has crossed the line must be sanctioned. Pure and simple. But if you want to do a kind of selective justice, you don't care a hoot about the complaints people are talking about, and that you are pursuing your program head on, I'm afraid you hit a snag. And at the end of the day, the results will be there for us. I think that the concerns that people have raised were raised out of genuine incident that occurred, which must be looked into, so that you reassure people that there are leaders who are ready to stem the tide whenever there are problems within the party. But if you don't want to handle these things, I'm afraid people will sit down unconcerned. And when you need them most, I tell you, that is where they will fail you. 2024 is so close, and I'm sure they have taken political notice, and they will do the needful.
So the contest now, is between, I'm sure you being a political scientist yourself, you know that the contest now is between the vice president and candidate Japan. How does the withdrawal of Alan Kyerematen, affect the chances of either of them?
Oh, certainly, the same conditions exist. Remember that at the super delegate conference level, there were different canons that were used to gauge them. Now you are going into the finals of finals, where you are going to elect a flag bearer. The person who is going to emerge victorious is going to be, advertised in Ghana for votes. So you are going to use the national standard of the economy. Who has managed the economy well? If the person has been given the opportunity, it will come. Issue of corruption. Who is capable of managing corruption in this country? If you have records, they will go into that. Who is capable of ensuring that the youth get employed in this country? It will pop up. Who has the political wherewithal to stand in face of difficult challenges and then be firm? We are talking about what? Competence and all that. Because people accuse this government that he had sacrificed competence for loyalty. So now you want to see somebody who is competent and will be able to deliver the public good. Of course, you also want to see who will be able to ensure that you get the maximum vote, and you are talking about popularity. And a host of other factors are going to be brought to the scene. So it's not that simple, and that these things will come up, and you need a careful study of the issues and be able to have answers and all that. In political communication, when we are developing messages and all that, we look at for your baggage, and then things that people will be said about you, and you develop antidote for that. All these things are going to play out effectively. So it's not that simple. People think that is a simple process. No, it is not. All these calculations will be factored in, and whoever will emerge victorious will face this type of music at the end of the day.
Okay, let's take you to the Daily Guide newspaper. Veep opens automated premix fuel system. Galamsey ban reducing carbon emission, according to Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. Alan withdraws from MPP race. SP refreezes Cecilia Dapaah account. And Ghana needs reform spirit, NYA CEO. Now let's go to page 3. It says the Office of the Special Prosecutor has once again frozen the bank account of former Minister for Sanitation and Water Resources, Cecilia Dapaah. The OSP indicated in a statement yesterday that it had complied with the August 31, 2023 ruling of an Accra High Court by unfreezing the account. The statement also indicated that the $2.73 million and $590,000 that officers of the OSP had seized at the Agbelempe residence of the former minister had been returned to her. But in a somewhat surprising turn of events, A statement signed by the Special Prosecutor Kisei Jabeng states that the account have once again been frozen and the money seized at a residence which were temporarily returned to her have also been seized as investigations into corruption and corruption-related offences continue against her. Your thought on this? Okay, all right. So we'll try and get him back so we can wrap up with him. But let me do some of the stories on some of the front pages. Now, the Finder newspaper is reporting Alan Quate's flagbearer race, alleges intimidation and skewed process, premix fuel dispensing, monitoring automated. OSP returns Dape's money and seized it again. And shareholders commend Access Bank's first half performance. Forestry Commission outlines Galamsey fight in Apamprama Forest Reserve. And Brand Ghana needs forward-looking structures upon Nkrumah says. Okay, so that is a story, but I'm interested in the Apamprama story, forest story. It says, the Forestry Commission says that it is working to curb illegal mining in the Apamprama Forest Reserve. As part of its attempt to stop illegal mining in the Forest Reserve, it has employed a range of strategies and interventions in this regard. The Commission says it has trained 964 frontline field officers with the help of the military to boost law enforcement. The strategies were outlined in a press release reacting to illegal mining activities in the Apamprama Forest Reserve. The Commission noted that as part of its effort to curb illegal mining in the Forest Reserve, it has procured 1,000 pump action guns to boost morale and capacity of frontline staff to protect the Forest Reserve. Really? In this country, sometimes that the people who are at the helm of affairs, what do they take us for? That we didn't know that some people were mining in the forest to that extent, and now it has taken us, after this distraction, to go and train some 964 frontline officers and purchase 1,000 pump action guns. Really? I mean, sometimes they should take us to be intelligent a little, because you don't sit there and assume you didn't hear excavators working in the Apamprama forest for that long, sat there and watched them to destroy the forest to that extent, and you're not telling us after a journalist had gone in there and brought out the revelations, and then you say you've gone in to train some 964 frontline officers. Really? After the fauna and the flora of the place have been destroyed in the manner they have, Forestry Commission. I mean, sometimes, just give us that opportunity that we also have sense more. Anyway, Dr. Kwame Asante is back with us. Doc, let's deal with one story from the Daily Guide newspaper. SP says he has refrozen Cecilia Abinadapa's account. Was it something you expected? How can this help us to get to the bottom of the issue about the missing cash and how they even came about it?
The commission thing.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. It is annoying to say the least. Why? We are in this country, and as if those who are engaged in these activities, they don't exist here. As if where these activities are taking place, police, Bureau of Investigation, and the rest of them do not exist. Why?
Right. We'll get Doc back on the line so that we can deal with these issues. Now back to the Forestry Commission story again. It says the Forestry Commission added that as part of curbing illegal mining, it has seized and decommissioned a number of equipment used for illegal mining in forest reserves. Quote, since January this year, 3 excavators have been seized and over 70 excavators, unspecified number of generators, water pumping machines and other mining equipment, and temporary wooden structures have been burnt within forest reserves, mainly in the Bekwai, Bibiani, Enchi, Dwaboso, and Takwa Forest District by the Forest Services Division with support of the RRTs. Now, quote, out of the number of bent excavators, 12 were bent in the Pramprama Forest Reserve, the release explained. The commission indicated that it has arrested and prosecuted illegal miners, both Ghanaians and foreigners, many of which have been convicted, while the trials of others are pending in various courts across the country. Anyway. Doc, it looks like the line today is really troubling, but we'll still manage. Yes, so
yeah, Bekojo, I am so surprised that Forestry Commission will come and give us this cock and bull story. I mean, to say the least. Why? We are giving you work to do. Yeah. If you can do, get out and let people who can manage the forest to come and do the work. We are joking in this country.
Yeah.
We have, God has blessed us with all these arable lands, forests, to serve our purpose. And we have given this duty to an agency of state, handle it on our behalf, and out of which we are able to pay you and all that. This is all that you can. They should credit us with some level of intelligence and stop this thing. It's so annoying. I don't want to hear, I don't want to know. But look, these things should not be countenanced at all. We should be able to stand up and resist this thing through legal battles and all that. Because sometimes I get so angry about these things that the very things that we are committing now are going to be albatross around our necks very soon.
Yeah.
I can tell you, once you destroy the ecosystem, you are off. It doesn't matter, please. We are playing the ostrich as if nothing is happening. This galamsey business is a serious menace that we need to stand up and rise to the occasion and deal with it. Otherwise, it will consume all of us in no time.
What is really the issue? Is it an issue of incompetence or corruption such that the forestry officers are not able to get these illegal miners driven out of the forest? Or because they benefit, that's why they allow them to keep doing what they do?
It is a whole mix of facts associated with the system. I mean, so it's a web of corrupt activities going on there. Two, it is also lack of what? Capacity on the part of government. Government, regulatory capacity where they enforce law rigidly has been thrown to the dogs. And of course, government itself, some of its apparatchiks are also complicit in this. So the fight, I'm not sure we are going to win it because those who matter and they are supposed to be at the forefront of this fight are themselves complicit in this matter. And those who are not complicit look on unconcerned. How can we win such a fight? As if those who are engaged in this activity come from the moon, and as soon as we are looking for them, they disappear into thin air. It is not the case. But that we don't want to do. The wrong things that we do, we benefit from it. We don't care a hoot about
Very, very difficult morning. But yes, that's Dr. Kwame Asa Asante. He is director of the Center for European Studies at the University of Ghana. Let me just read what I have and then we can wrap up here. Now, the custodian says Alan quits MPP 2024 race. Baumia opens automated premix fuel stations. Brand Ghana must uphold ethical values upon Kroma says. RE, Forest Under Siege and Pramprama Forest Reserve. That's a response that comes to the picture of the Chief Executive for Forestry Commission, John Alote. Ghana Post wins Best Courier Service Award, and state grabs 1.4 million from road traffic offenses. Oh, okay. And the Ghanaian publisher. Anyway, very shocking. Can we really win with this attitude? Okay. Let me just not waste time on the banner headline there. But let me bring you the details of the story from the state grabbing some 1.4 million from road traffic offences. Now, official information given to the custodian indicates that the state has raked in over 1.4 million cedis through the enforcement of road traffic regulations. Some 11 persons have also been sentenced to various jail terms, with over 1.4 million cedis paid as spot fines into the state coffers for this year alone. Chief Superintendent Alexander Kweku Obeng, Director of Education, Research Training and the Project Coordinator for the Traffic-GH initiative, who disclosed these at the Stakeholders Sensitization Forum in Tamale, said over 100,000 road traffic offenders have so far been convicted in court. He announced that the number of road crashes have declined compared to last year due to the rigorous campaign and police visibility on the major highways. Quote, now, in terms of injuries, it has gone down because of police intervention, and all that about 9,000 Ghanaians are injured, some amputated, and deaths have also gone down compared to the same period from January to July last year. Quote, however, over 1,200 Ghanaians have been killed on our roads. One death is one too many, and that's why the Inspector General of Police and the Police Council will not accept this at all, and therefore more interventions are needed, unquote, he stated. Well, so that is the story from the custodian. Well, okay, let's do the publisher. It's already on the screen. It says Forestry Commission fires Joy FM, charges them to put issues in proper context. What context again? Okay, let me just do a bit of that story. It says that the Forestry Commission has responded to Joy FM's latest documentary on alleged illegal mining activities in the Apramprama Forest Reserve, which aired on Monday evening. While thanking the multimedia group for shining the light on the destruction of a portion of the Forest Reserve and an important watershed, it stated that the media outfit must, quote, put matters in proper perspective for the sake of the public, unquote. In a rejoinder, the Forestry Commission stated that it believes such documentaries help draw attention to grave national issues that public support is urgently required to address. So, what is the proper perspective that the Forestry Commission is talking about? Hasn't there been illegal mining in Apramprama Forest? I'm sure they will say yes, there has been. Haven't there been distractions? Didn't the Forestry Commission look on for the distraction to occur? Because when you are working with excavators, they make loud noise. So are we being told that the Forestry Commission did not hear when the noise started and they sat on for those large space to be destroyed? What is the perspective again? I mean, sometimes, like I said earlier, the Forestry Commission should take all of us to be intelligent enough not to be telling us all the things that they are saying. What is the proper perspective again here? That a journalist goes in there to report on what you failed to do, and you are telling us that we should put it in proper perspective. What perspectives again? That we saw in the video, it wasn't as though they were concocted. These are visuals that we can all see on our screens. So, Forestry Commission should go ahead and deal with the issue and stop asking the media house, which has done its required duty of highlighting, this very despicable activity by illegal miners. Of course, you supervise it because you sat there and watched on for that to happen. And then now you're coming to tell the media house that they have to put the issues in perspective. So which perspective again? I mean, sometimes, look, these are the visuals on your screen, these ones. So if you're a Ghanaian and you watch this, do you require the Forestry Commission to come and tell you that the media house should put this in perspective? What perspective again? After we've witnessed the sort of destruction that have gone on in a forest reserve, and as we speak, it is happening in a lot of forest reserves. Look at this. I mean, you watch this, and the Forestry Commission is telling us to do what? What perspective again? You sat there for this to happen. I mean, what I've seen will be more than 10 football fields. Look at this land that I'm seeing on the screen. And then the Forestry Commission is sitting in the office and telling us to put it into what perspectives? Again, this distraction that we are witnessing on the TV, on our screens. And the Forestry Commission is telling us what perspective? There's no perspectives to be drawn here. What is left to be done is Forestry Commission to do the right thing. I mean, we've mentioned names of companies that mined in there. And there are individuals who are CEOs, who are owners of these companies. Can the Forestry Commission go after them and then make sure that they pay for what they've done and rather stop telling us to put these issues into perspective? There is no perspective than to ensure that the destroyed environment are restored. Can we even restore them in the same natural habitat that God created them? It cannot be done. We can try our best, but we cannot. Anyway, let's end it here. This AM Sports is up next with Muftau Abdullah Nabila. There's the latest from the camp of the Black Stars. So do stay on and get all of that here on the AM Show.